Hey, we're here to do Married at First Sight, season 15. Um, I'm going to go ahead and do this quick decision day episode. It was really kind of torturous, for me. I don't think that any of the couples should have stayed together. Maybe Lindy and Miguel, but Nate and Stasha, that was shaky, child. That was some shaky stuff, and I just don't appreciate Stasha being all dramatic. She could have just said yes or no. So the way she did it, I was like, oh my goodness, she's gonna say no, and then she turned around, oh, I'm gonna stay committed to you. I was like, girl, whatever. So they ended up, staying together, but like I said, that was shaky. She looked good, and when she came up, Nate was trying to give her the flowers. She was like, oh, can you hold them for me? I thought that was a good move. And she had a list. She had a list of stuff that, she had an issue, with Nate about. And Nate came back and was like, well, hey, you got problems, too. Because he said executive Stasha is a trip. So we'll see, how this all works out with them later. And for the reunion episodes, I'm not sure if I'm going to do them separately or together. So I'm going to ponder what I'm going to do, with that. So let's look at Justin and Alexis. When Dr. Pepper and Dr. Cal was talking, they felt like that Justin was going to say yes, and they said that the wild card was Alexis. And I don't know why Alexis said yes. I think it was the stress of the show and, just being caught up in the moment. She did say that she saw some improvement in Justin, and she wasn't ready to, quit at that point. So it kind of made some sense to me. But then, because she was like, I can't promise you forever, but I can promise you time. And so when they left the area where Dr. Pepper and Dr. Cal were, they got to a fight. And Justin, he just wouldn't stop. I don't know if he did that on purpose, just to, because I've done that. You can tell when somebody, doesn't want to be around you, but then they don't want to tell you. So you just kind of just make them, you force their hand to make them say to you, what they don't want to say, but they're acting it out. So they think that they're doing you a favor, but they're not. Because the body language and everything is just as offensive as if you are going to just tell the person whatever it is that you got to say. So I don't know if he was doing that on purpose or not. He says that he was surprised, by it, but I don't know. I mean, it's like what Miguel was saying to Lindy, read the room. I mean, you could just look at her face and see that something was going on with her, and he just wouldn't stop. I mean, just kept talking and talking and talking and talking. And I'm like, I was sick of listening to him. So she was when they asked her at the end, I think Lifetime has it clipped. So if you go to Married at First Sight and look at the Lifetime, on YouTube they have it, and then in this video I'll clip it at the bottom. I'll put the link, and then you can go back and look at it, for yourself, and just see how crazy, this Joker was acting. So, I don't blame Alexis. A lot of people mad, calling her trash and that. I'm still not mad at her for her decision. I understand. And one of the things that kind of caught my ear is that he told her that she was acting like, he was getting the feeling that she was having the attitude that you're privileged, that I actually said yes to you. And in a way, that's kind of true, Justin. That's kind of true. That this woman was giving you more time to show her, that you can grow and step into that, role. That was an opportunity. And you just took it and blew a hole through it. So, I don't know. And she kept saying that she's more logical and he's more emotional. I think some people were offended at that. And the fact that she kept saying, I'm processing. And that didn't bother me because I understood what she meant. She's saying that she's running this stuff through her head so that she can see how she really feels, about it. So she can't speak on something until she actually goes through those steps in her mind so that she can come, to a conclusion. So I wasn't offended by her word choice, at all. And yeah, it was just real sad. It was a real sad, situation. So let's look. Lindy and Miguel. Lindy was really pretty in her dress. Miguel looked good, so he had a matching tie to her dress, which was emerald green. And I didn't know whether or not what was going to happen, with them either. And so they ended up saying yes, and I thought that was cool. Mitch and Krysten, this was interesting. I'm really proud of Mitch. And Krysten loves to act like she is the victim. I mean, we all know how difficult, Mitch can be. But Krysten is not a victim in this. And if he has said yes, she would have said yes too. So she's running around trying to act like she a baddie. And she is being, she's like being a hypocrite. One minute, we could, be friends. The next minute, oh, well, no, we can't be. The door is closed. But the door was open. But now it's, I want you to watch Luna, for me because I'm going on a trip. We're cordial. It's just so much. It's so much. I think Mitch made the right decision. I'm glad that he is in touch enough with himself. And I think that Krysten kind of messed it up too because she really wanted more time. And instead of her just going ahead and say that, she was like, if he's not head over heels in love with me, if he's not making this grand gesture, if he's not doing this, then I don't want that. But then she's going to leave the door cracked open so that if they run into each other later and he want to have something, then yeah, that's a possibility. Then just go ahead and figure it out now, Krysten. I mean, she's ridiculous. And I heard this. I heard the hypocrisy coming out of her a while ago. So Mitch was in the actual house with her, so he got a chance to suck in more of it, than I did just watching it on television. So I'm really proud that, like I said, he's his own man, and he's his own man. I like that. So I clipped the part where they were all talking, the couples. And so you can get a chance to hear, some of the craziness coming out of her mouth. And then I clipped when they were packing up and leaving, the house and leaving the apartment, the shared apartment that they had. And you get to hear some more of her, nutty conversation. And I agree with Mitch. Dr. Pepper told her what kind of dude Mitch is. You can't post him up. You can't have it so that he feels like he's being ganged up on. Because that's going to make him defensive. And it's not going to end up well. And it's like she didn't learn that during Poolgate. So when Lindy and Stasha, when they started, in on Mitch, he was like, okay, look, this is coming from her. I didn't say anything about keeping their doors open for any romantic, relationship. And then when he was talking to her at the apartment, he was like, that's the whole point of me saying that I wanted to get a divorce. Why would I get a divorce and then turn around and then date you? That was, he said, having a clean break would be the thing to do. And I agree, with that. And Krysten is just being ridiculous. There's something going on with her. There is something happening. She wants to be married. I'm not sure. I'm not sure she's ready. Really. I mean, she's just wishy-washy. And in a relationship, like as a regular human being, she's cool. But relationship Krysten, I don't trust her. So, who was it that showed up again? Ben and Morgan, they showed up to the group. I thought they, both looked good. Ben said that he had seen her in the gym. They go to the same gym. Because San Diego's not that big. Um, so they go to the same gym and they speak, and that was about, it. Morgan says she's working, a lot. And I guess that's about it, for them. The other thing with Justin and Alexis, I'm thinking about it as they were cleaning up the apartment. Like I said, I clipped it. But Justin, I don't know if because he has like a double side, to him as well. Because when they were in their apartment, instead of him just saying to her what he needed to say, he waited until he got on the camera and was just trashing her, And I'm like, well, why didn't you say that to her in her face instead of, giving her a hug and telling her that you loved her? I mean, they waited until this last bit to really jump on my nerves. I did not want to do this. I did not want to talk about decision day. I'm just doing it because I'm just trying to be and have a lot of a continuity about it. I saw part of the reunion episode last night, and that was interesting. That was really, really interesting. I don't know how I feel about Justin accusing Nate of making a pass at him. I still have a problem with Nate. I don't think he has grown. I see some of the same issues happening with him that I saw at the beginning of this process. And so, not sure, how this is all going to wash out. There's some spoiler videos up. I don't know how you guys feel about spoilers. So, I'm just going to put it out there that there are spoiler videos out there. So if you kind of want to know the rumor of whether people are still together or not, even after the reunion episode, then that's available. That's out there. So I hope I didn't miss anything. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about too. Thank you. I'm glad this came to my mind. I'm learning. I really am learning because I love love. And I've been in love with the idea of love my whole life. But then life steps in and you have to make hard choices. Like I was thinking about making a note about Devon and Megan, since this is we're closing out, the season. I wanted to be able to talk about this. A lot of people wondered, why they were getting a divorce, because it seemed like they really loved and respected, each other. And one of the things that kind of hit me about it is like she had some lifestyle things that she was still doing. Like she was still drinking. She had just stopped drinking, I think, the year that he filed for divorce. And then I think the baby issue was a thing, for them as well. She's very career oriented, and I'm not sure why they didn't talk about getting a surrogate. I mean, I think some of this stuff, they could have worked it out. But then I also thought about it too. What if she did not believe in his religion? Like, she found out that 7-day Adventism is not something that she actually believes in. Would you want to have a child with somebody that's in a religion that you don't agree with? I mean, how are you going to co-parent, with this person? So I thought that actually would have been a valid reason for her not to want to have kids, with him. Because now she's saying, that she wants one. So it's sad. It's really sad. But these are the choices. I mean, you can love and appreciate and respect someone on one end, but if there is just this thing that is a deal breaker, then you can't gloss over it and ignore it just because you have all of these, other positive, qualities. So that's really when life, can kick you in the butt and become very, very, very complicated. I don't know what he was talking about, because he was like, um, when they did when he was being interviewed about being on Married at First Sight, he was like, he talked to a couple and they ended up, together. I don't know what couple he was talking about, because Alexis and Justin are not together. And based on the snippets that I saw from the reunion episode, she ain't interested in being with him, and he's not interested in being with her. So I don't know what Devon was talking about, and I don't see how he benefited, the show this season. So I think that's all I have. Can't believe I talked 15 minutes, about that. All right, guys, I will continue to post stuff. I did end up putting the ones down there that I promised about Justin, and Maya and Newton. And if you look at that video, you can see the breakdown in their communication happen right at that moment. Right at that moment. And that's when Alexis really starts making them faces. And I think that over time, she just lost respect. And she did not believe Justin anymore. And I could understand that, as well. Because Justin has a tendency to talk a lot. But then how much do you produce? And so I understood her hesitation. I understood her doubt. And the Stasha and Nate video with him, with his friends talking to her about how Nate has really never shown or said, I love you, to anybody other than, his family. And I see that. It's hard for him, to open up. My thing is with Nate, I mean, dude, you lucky. You are lucky. I mean, I don't understand what's going on with him and Justin. They act like you can just find women, at the drop of a hat. If that was true, then why would they need to be on Married at First Sight? So this is the thing that really gets on my nerves, with people, is that we throw each other away too quick. Instead of really evaluating, the value of the people, that come into our lives. And I'm seeing that the older, that I get. And it's really sad to see, these younger, people still making some of the same, mistakes. But, like I said, that's it. And I'll see y'all on the next video.